back into the traffic. This is not fun at the moment. When I have been coming into work, it seems like there's roadworks everywhere again, because there is for the next, I think it's like 6 months again. So finding alternate ways to get home, which is not fun at all because congestion leaving at this time. But what am I going to do about it? There's no point in whinging about that as well, with everything else that I've been whinging about of late, including stupid student looking people walking across the road paying zero attention. Oh well. I say oh well a lot, don't I? This is a self-reflection that I definitely need to deal with, the oh well meter. Maybe I'll flash something like up on screen. Anyway, as you can hear, my throat's taken a bit of a step back again from that cold / COVID I had last week. Has started again to not rear its head, but absolutely coming back to bite me on the bum after spending the majority of the day today speaking and catching up with various people on various projects. But it feels like it's been a more positive day, certainly from a work standpoint anyway. Not for everybody, but well, there's not much I can do in that regard, but certainly from my point of view, which is for me at least the important aspect, because that's progression in what I need. I think there are going to be some more challenges this week. I'm not particularly looking forward to tomorrow, but I don't think it'll be confrontational, but I feel there will be opinions voiced, and that's fine. I think it's finding that middle ground, isn't it, to conflict resolution. Not conflict at all. That is the wrong term. I think the resolution is better leadership and more transparency about what aims and goals and purposes and structures need to be in place to enable those things to happen, and make sure that operational staff are in line with what leadership want, and that the management strata can adequately enable operational staff to do that. At the moment, that isn't happening, and that's where my grievance is, that tools, systems, processes aren't in place, or where they are in place, such as in the elements that I look after, they are not adhered to. And yes, there is a negative, no, not a negative, there is a effect associated with following those projects, which is a time sink. But the time sink that's involved in following process duly to enable the output, then on the other side of the equation balances out with the optimizations gained from following those processes, allowing better output, thus allowing more of the widgets to be sold, more of the things to be made, meaning more saleability or marketing viability for those elements, thus leading to large profits, which then lets you expand on the team to mitigate those time deficits in the first instance. So I suppose it comes down to the adage of do it right first rather than do it several times, you know. And if you do it right first, you buy better, then you get a better product. You build right first, you build a better product, you get more students, or you can charge higher for it. All of these things, this is common sense. It's 101. That doesn't exist holistically, and that's where we're going with this. I don't know how I got onto the subject, and that's a bit random. But I think this is a good test of my ability as, not as a manager, but as more of a leader, I suppose, and pulling a wider team in a direction and managing upwards by having a strategic vision that then is rolled into the leadership's strategic vision, or how it ties into that, and this is how it's enabled, with everything planned out, all of the challenges, all of the benefits clearly laid out for the people that can make those decisions or give that authority the information they need to make informed strategic decisions to the operational and the management layer, all laid out. So it's none of it is hearsay, everything is based off of empirical evidence. That's where I live, that's what I'm talking about. Boom. So yeah, we'll see. I expect to be frustrated as well, because whatever, always. But yeah, it's been a fairly difficult couple of weeks. I don't particularly think it's any better or in a worse case. And really, this week is good. It's just going to be a complete nightmare. I'm having my eye test tomorrow, and I wholly think that I'm going to go in and get my prescription and not get the glasses from there. I might get the free pair from work and then just take my prescription and go back to Specsavers and get something, because seemingly it's pretty expensive. And yeah, I'm not down for that, because I need at least, well, I want a couple of pairs and then I'll have to glasses direct some super cheapies. But we'll cross that bridge tomorrow, and then just a wodge of stuff to get through for work as well, and a wodge of freelance to do. So that's pretty much taking my time to zero. But yeah, needs must and all that. I was reading an article this morning about the 996 work mentality that's kind of become the norm in many places like Japan and the US, and now is becoming quite the norm in areas in the UK. So if you don't know what that is, it's working 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. at night, 6 days a week, and that's kind of like the expectance to get ahead these days. And that's not far from the truth of what I actually do. So it leads to a 72-hour week with literally no downtime for anything. And that's where I kind of feel I am at the moment. I don't really have, I mean, I'm doing a lot. I know I seem to do a lot of stuff ancillary to this stuff, but I'm in a space where my hobbies kind of feed into my work in a lot of respects. So that's where that kind of additional space comes from, to allow me to have those additional outputs. Whereas if I actually look at the time that I have to do anything that's not that, it's very, very little. And a lot of the additional freelance that I'm having to do for a couple of clients now is very time intensive, and although longer term it allows me to have the financial stability that I need, being in a single earning family unit situation, it also means that I have little time and basically little patience for stuff not getting done. It's like longer term, I would like to not have to do it to this extent. And at that point, I'm thinking career progression is what needs to happen so that I can do less of the freelance stuff, or at least start charging more for the freelance I'm doing with my longer term existing clients. But then is balancing out of wanting to maintain that existing client base compared to putting prices up and then potentially going elsewhere. So it's that steady state, isn't it? On one layer, I'm managerial / leadership, and then on the other freelance side, I'm operational. So it's an interesting juxtaposition of seeing both of those things through different lenses depending on which hat I've got on, I suppose, at the time. But it's starting to fry me noodle, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely need some more way of some other release of like anger and all of the other stuff I've can get out. It was nice to go to the gym this morning. That was good. I'm looking forward to it tomorrow. Anyway, my nose is getting stuffy, so I'm just going to leave it there because this has been a longer one. So I'm not really talked. I like car talks with you. It's nice. It's nice to talk to you all in the car. Right. Have a good evening. I will speak to you all tomorrow. See ya.